Well, hello there, everybody. How are you? This is Kathy Crow at the Crow Cottage, and I'm sorry I am late today. Hold on just a second. I've got to click on my little video. You're gonna have to hear my voice in a second here. Just let me get it off. It's like, get off that sound. It's terrible. And I didn't mean to pause it. Oh, I don't know if I'm frozen or if I. Am I frozen on there? Hey, Michelle. I went to click the video so I could see comments and it froze on my screen. So now I am going to have to take a second here and back out and try it again. And so hopefully I'm not frozen. At any rate, we will find out. We are going to use this rustic retreat with My Meadow and Grace's Garden. Oops, I just lost all of my little pieces. Because Grace's Garden, oh, there you are, Grace's Garden. Grace's Garden has all these wonderful, oh, you are not frozen. Awesome. I didn't think so. I think it's just the computer. I'll get it going here in a minute. So there's tons of little pieces in here. And so I have them all punched out. Stamped and punched out. But of course, just now when I was moving stuff, some went on the floor. So rats, I might have to punch some of them out again. But I am going to put us down on the, oh, awesome. Marty is with us. Thank you, Marty, for sharing. And I'm sure Michelle probably did too. Thank you, ladies. Oh, thank you for doing that because I do have my names ready to do for last week's drawing. Marty, I haven't seen you for a little while, I think. Maybe you decided to give somebody else a chance instead of winning every time. But anyway, today it is still, well, let's look out there. It looks like maybe the wind's calmed down for a minute. It's been terribly windy here. Michelle, have you enjoyed all of our wind? It's just been really ridiculous, actually. And so anyhow, I hope that things are going good for your mom. Keeping her in our prayers. I hope things are going well for her. And I have got, I wanted to do this because, yes, it was. It was. The wind was terrible. It was so funny when we went into the church. It was nice. It was really nice. Jeff and I were saying, it's going to be a beautiful spring day. We went inside, and then when church was over, he's always out and about because during church he has to go count people. He does the offering, Anyway, right now he's doing a few jobs. So he was out in the foyer and, going and doing those things. So then when church was done and I was walking out, he said, "Don't be surprised, the weather's changed." It's like, no. When I went out, there was water all over our windows, our big windows all around in the church. And so it had been raining and the wind had come up, but oh well. Okay, so I've got all of our names in here. And, I missed what happened to Marty. I do need to get my messages on over here so that I can actually read them. Okay, my even though my video is frozen, it looks like my messages are going okay, so that's all right. I can see my messages, and then I don't even have to see me doing stuff, so that's good. All right, so I will go ahead and we'll see who won the drawing. Maybe Marty, Marty, if you're having health issues, hopefully today, oops, let me shake it again. Hopefully today you're feeling better, and that's why you're able to be with us. So even a little better can be encouraging. And Trudy won today. So Trudy, congratulations. She might not be with us right now, but she will be, I'm sure, sometime in the future. All right. All right, so I do need to get started because this went together pretty quickly. I'm going to show you the card here in a moment. I kind of need to monitor my picture, so I'm going to have to play with it because last couple of weeks ago it was like so super bright, and I actually have the same setup going here again with my white blotter paper. I kind of need it today. So Maybe if I just put us way up, it won't see. But it was so terribly, terribly bright. So let me look. You can peek at my card that we're going to be doing. You can see I kind of left all of my mess on here, just so that if it would tone it down. It's that white that is just not really. There we go. The trouble is that now my video's off. It's not caught up. So let me see if I can. There. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. Oh, good. My lighting looks better today because it was so bright one day I couldn't even see. Later when I went to see, okay, how does the video look? It looked terrible. All right, so the card we're going to do is using Grace's Garden. What I did is took a... there's a little bird waiting to go on. I took one of our clear window sheets so that we could, and I kind of got glue on it because it was next to the one I was using. It was nice when I started, but just to support this little arm, because the little arm flips up so that you can see your design. Okay, and then your card opens up so that you can. Anyhow, so that's what we're going to do, and I had so much fun. I haven't colored all of the pieces yet, because I just didn't really have time. And we'll decide what we're going to do at the end, because I've got all these pieces ready to go, and we will see what we want to do. There's the little kitty. When I saw the little kitty, I was thinking, yeah, the cat can stay out of the garden. I don't want you in the garden. All right, I haven't seen her. I had to turn our cat alarms off because the wind was setting them off all the time. So they're probably out there enjoying the peace and quiet. It's really nice. I saw this morning our daffodils are up. They've been up, but they had not, I didn't see any buds on them. Today I actually saw buds on them. So that was really exciting. All right. Okay, so yes, Marty, thank you so much. I hope today goes well. I'm not really sure how today's going to go. I feel a little bit unprepared for it, but it probably will be fine. So what we're doing is we're just starting with a pretty big sheet. We're going to just cut it at the standard 4 1/4, although that will get trimmed down some. Actually, I'm going to go with 4 1/2. Yeah, I better go with 4 1/4 because it's still going to get trimmed down. Then I can use my other half for something else later. And so that's the piece that we're going to be, this is the piece we're going to be working on. We'll cut it at 5 1/2. Okay, you can see I cut my finger again. And this time I didn't do it on my own knives. I was down at Goodwill. Oops, I don't want to put that away. I just want to make sure I don't get it dirty. And I was rummaging through, usually I think they're pretty careful about these things, but I was rummaging through one of their bins looking at, just kitchen tools and didn't realize they had a mandolin in there. A mandolin. I mean, it was pretty big, so I did see it because I went to pick it up and move it because I didn't want that. And, but that was stupid. I thought that I was fairly safe. So from now on, I'm going to be much more careful rummaging in their bin because I sliced a pretty good chunk of my skin off of my finger on that mandolin. And then what we're going to do with this one, we're going to cut this one. I think I wanted it a little wider. Yes, so we did 4 1/2. I decided to do it 4 1/2 on this one. And I'm just going to go down to, let me make it a little more room here so that you can see a little better what I'm doing. There we go. Hopefully that's good. I want to leave the arm, so I'm instead of going all the way down, I'm going to just leave a little piece at the end here that I'm going to do for the arm. Nothing too dramatic. I'm going to call this a fancy fold when I put it on Pinterest and stick it probably on my fancy fold board, but it's really not much of a fancy fold. It's just a little flap. But anyway, it needs to be a little bit small of a flap because these The gate, there's not much at the bottom. It cuts out really nice. So I don't really want a whole lot behind there. So it's not terribly secure. You would probably not want to give this card to a child unless you were prepared for them to tear it the very moment they got it in their hands. I would suspect that's what they would do. Okay, so then I'm going to just cut. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I've kind of got it on the wrong side, but I've got so many stamps all over the place here that I'm having a hard time getting it. Okay, so this is my wider side, so I want my little arm to be here. Okay, I didn't get quite all the way down there, but that's okay. We'll just do a little trim. Okay, so now that's where the card is going to be, and we'll just do a little little tiny score there, and then score it at 5.5 right there. Okay. All right, so this is our base card. And then there's going to be this little arm coming across. And you can see it doesn't come across all the way, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't, in fact, I really don't even want it to. Okay, so we'll set that aside. We also are going to use a little piece of, thank you for liking my card, Marty. I appreciate that. I think this is going to turn out fun. You're going to really like it. I've already cut a piece of petal pink that I believe is going to fit on here. Actually, it's a little narrow. I must not have cut it quite the right size. So let me cut another one. And we'll do this one 5.5. No, not 5. Yeah, 5. No, 5.5 is right, but I need it 4.5, not... That was the difference. So let me make sure I'm getting this right. So this one's 5.5 this way. So we'll go 4.5 this way. And then that should cover the whole front of this card. Very good. Okay. And then after we've made this one, we're going to be trimming the edges so that we have a border there. All right. Anyway, so when I cut myself and went to find that lady, you know, anybody, a clerk at the store who could stop, it was bleeding really badly. So, and I don't have a Band-Aid in my purse, which reminded me I should probably have a Band-Aid in my purse, but I didn't. And she was more concerned, I think, with me suing the store than my poor little finger, but I got it taken care of enough, and then I just came home and I didn't get my stuff, but oh well. All right, so to do this, it's actually going to be really easy. I don't know. Have you guys got, have you got Grace's Garden? Okay, there's everything, I think practically every stamp that's on the front has got a die to it. And so I kind of need an extra die magnet in here because some of these are falling off and I've got them hanging off the side, but that's partly because I've been using it. But I do need another sheet. I ran out of sheets. I need another one to stick these over here. But that's not what we're going to start with. We're actually going to start with Artisan Textures. This is going to be a very easy way to make our initial background. Okay, you could use a sponge if you wanted to, but I thought I'm going to just use this time because these actually go through, these make very quick work of backgrounds, of these texture stamps. So we're going to use Coastal Cabana for the sky. Okay, I used my brayer for all of this stuff. I tried that first, actually, right on this card, I think, and it was going to be really slow, not really work good enough. So I'm just stamping off a couple of times, just for starters, just to see how this is going. Okay, There. And that's pretty much it. You know, I don't want it to be smooth because we're going to put some clouds in there. Now, what did I do with my... Oh, what did I do with my cleaning thing? I think I might have left it in the kitchen. I don't see my... I don't see it. So I must... Let me go grab my shimmy, my Simply Chamois. I actually had left that right in the kitchen because I had to clean that off. Okay, and then we're going to use Granny Apple Green for the ground. And actually, before I take that off, I want this to be just a little darker, maybe like right near the bottom. And it can go into the ground. These colors, you know, they kind of meld together really nicely. So Marty, do you have this set? It's really pretty. And I've seen some great examples with it on Pinterest. I've been saving like crazy. Okay, now this one I'm going a little easier on, Granny Apple Green. I don't want to have too much green going here. So like one stamp and then just keep going with that one is pretty much going to work for you. Okay, so there's your ground. Pretty easily done. And we will put this away because that's all we're doing with that Artisan Textures is just that background color. So my finger is healing up nicely. Really happy about it because I've got a lot of weeding and, you know, when I weed and stuff, my dirt gets in there. It doesn't matter how many gloves I've got on, and it's really difficult. So I've got some of that to do. All right, now we need our Mossy Meadow. Mossy Meadow is fantastic. Oh, hi, Linda. I'm sorry. I was late too, Linda. I was late too. I'm sorry, you guys. I was having so much fun making this card because actually this is what I did just before. I thought this was going to go really quick, and it did, but not quick enough. So anyhow, before I even start with Mossy Meadow, just really quick, let me explain how I like to do this when you're building up a scene. Now I'm going to move this down a little bit. Hopefully my voice won't be shouting into the phone too much. I like to start with the thing that's in the farthest. So the farthest away, you know, I have to do the cloud, the sky, and the ground. That's got to go first. But the farthest thing away here is my little rustic retreat cabin. I thought he's going to be more the size that I wanted. I've been looking at all of the things people have done, and I've really liked seeing what the cards are coming out with the pavilion and the bridge. Those have been gorgeous. But I wanted to do something a little different, and I got out the French countryside and some other things, and just thought, you know what? I'm going back to our little rustic retreat. The size of this cabin is the perfect size for it in the background behind some trees, because we are going to be walking into a deep garden. For this little garden that I've got going here, there might be some flowers up front, but it's inside. This is going to be welcoming you into a big garden, much bigger than I've got. And so I wanted the effect of something deep, but I didn't want to use the pavilion or the bridge. They're cute, but they've been used. So I'm going to be using, for most of my dark colors, I'm not going to be using a lot of Memento today. I'm going to use Basic Gray, if I can find you, Basic Gray. I know you are here on my desk somewhere, but or at least you were once upon a time, because I just used you. But at any rate, oh, there you are hiding, of course. When I do a lot of flowers and trees and whatnot, I kind of like to use this basic gray. It gives a little bit softer edge to your images, especially if you're doing a watercolor effect. So for our cabin, we do not want any smoke. This is springtime, so even though they might have smoke coming in, I don't want anything to evoke coldness. I want this to look warm. So we are not going to have the smoke. And I also am going to cut off this edge of the cabin here because I don't want that messing up my trees. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to stamp it on the side like this, just to try to keep my ink off of that smoke. I did that pretty well, actually. I'm surprised. And then I'll just take my Simply Chamois, and if I got any on the smoke, I'm just going to wipe that off and hope I got most of it off. And then I'm just taking it and cleaning off the half of the cabin that I don't want showing. And it doesn't have to be perfect because my little tree is the trees are gonna obscure a lot of this anyway. Oops, I dropped a big drop of wet right there. So we'll put our cabin right there. Remember, we're gonna be cutting some of this off anyway. So make sure I'm getting him in high enough and not too high. So that's perfect, okay? So we're just gonna put our little cabin, our little half of a cabin right there. And then we'll put this guy back. Yeah, I wish my garden looked like this. Thank you for sharing, Linda. Appreciate it. My garden looks pretty good, but nothing like that right now. We've got some forsythia that's finally coming out. It seems like it's taken a little while this year, which is funny because we've had lots of sun. It's been nice. All right, so now we are done with our cabin, and we're going to work on the My Meadow stuff. Okay, so we'll put basic gray away, and we'll get out. And I'm going to open up my little flap so I can see what I did here. And all right, we're going to start with the tree trunks. Okay, we'll put those in. So we'll get the little grouping of the little grove of tree trunks. Okay, we'll stick that on there, and I'm going to use some soft suede. Why are you gone? I thought I had every stamp case I was going to use today on my desk, and I guess I put it away. Okay, there you are, soft suede. Do you do that? Do you find yourself putting things away that you don't want to put away? You know, you tell yourself, I'm going to leave this out, but I think that's a mom thing. You're just automatically going to, I don't need you, sticker. You're kind of in the way. You're just automatically putting things away. As soon as you're done with it, put it away, put it away. All right, so we're going to just put our trees kind of gingerly here because I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to get them exactly the way I want them. I'm going to try. I want it a little bit away from the house, not too far away. Okay, now that's all I'm doing with that one. And then we'll grab out the other ones. It has some really nice trunks. Oh, Linda, your daffodils are blooming. You are so fortunate. I would love to have them blooming. They're not even close, but maybe in a couple of weeks. I have a friend who grows a lot of them here. His yard's a lot sunnier than ours, but he said that his are very close to blooming. Okay, so we'll put that little guy right there. Move you over a little so that I know you can see what I'm doing. And it's just a matter of putting all of these little things away too as I go. And then there's one nice big tree. Now I've done something with the ink there. I don't know what happened, but something happened. All right, and so these trees, we're gonna just go right where that ink was, and that'll kind of cover up my flub a little bit. And one more right there. Okay. And then we're gonna take our fill for the trees. So I don't know if these are cherry trees or plum trees. They certainly are pretty. And we've got like several different options for this. I'm going to start with this one. And we'll use Flirty Flamingo, if I can find it. There it is. We'll get some Flirty Flamingo going on here. Okay. All right, so now is the fun part. You just stamp like crazy. All over. It's very, very therapeutic, really. Envisioning all of these gorgeous blossoms. Boy, wouldn't those smell good? I guess this is something of an orchard, right? Because they've kind of got them all over the place. We have a lot of grapevines. Oops, I kind of missed the whole card when I did it there. And those smell really good in the fall when the grapes are ripening up. Okay, so we're going to stop, although it's very tempting to keep going and going and going. But actually, I do want to do the effect of some of this orchard in the distance. So we'll stamp off and do some more pale ones kind of in the distance. Okay, behind those. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it looks good to have some kind of in the distance there. Okay. All right, so that's done with that. And then there's some little tinier ones. They're actually a little bit bigger spots. We are going to use some lovely lipstick with that just to give a little bit more dimension on it. Okay, let me see if I've got it positioned the way I want it. And I think I'm going to stamp off first for the first one just to make sure, okay, good, it's okay. Because sometimes I get these going and think, ooh, that's way too dark. I don't want it to be that dark. Okay, I'm going to need a little more Flirty Flamingo in there, it looks like. Okay, that's good enough for that. And we'll just leave you out because actually we're going to come in there with some other things too. Anyhow, so we've got tulips in this yard. It's nice. I do want to fill that in more. Do you guys remember Sheltering Tree? We had Sheltering Tree was very like these, only big. One big tree. I loved that stamp. That was one of my favorite sets. I was really sorry when they retired that one because I had just gotten it. I think when they retired it, I had just gotten it. I was fairly new. Okay, let's see now. Now what do we do? There is some grass that we're going to put in. And let me see if I can find what one we're using. I think it's not that one. Must be this little tiny one. We're just going to put a little bit of shading under those trees with this little grass. And I brought out my a retired one, the lemon lime twist. Just so that I wouldn't have, but Granny Apple Green is really the same color. It's just that I would have to stamp off with Granny Apple Green. And with this one, I don't have to. I can just stick you on here. Okay, and then I'm just going to move these around and trying to just get the effect of shadowing under these trees. Can you see that? I don't know if you can. Let's see if you can see that. It has a really nice shadow effect. I don't want to put too much of it on there. But isn't that pretty? Really like that. Okay, let's do, I got my shadows going the wrong way. We better add some over here too. There we go. All right. Then we'll clean that guy off. And then we want to put in the little tulips. Oh, I've got a big mess on my stamp from that soft suede. There we go. Okay, so we're done with that. And, all right, now let's see. Oh, we do have some grass, but we're going to put that in after the tulips. I want to get my little tulips in first. So let's find those guys. It's a little set of 3. And we're going to do our flirty flamingo. And there's no rhyme or reason. You just kind of stick them in like tulips will grow, kind of in a clump. Especially if you were fortunate enough to have them naturalized. That would be nice. I don't, but that would be good if they did. You remember that yes, there have been a lot of trees. Trees is a really popular thing, isn't it, Linda? Oh, I still want to use that guy because I want to put just a few little lovely lipstick tulips in there as well. Just so it doesn't look like it's all the same flower. Let's try you again. Like right there, since I flubbed that one. Oh, let's see. Where else do we want you? We want you maybe a little closer. All right, there we go. So that's that. I hope that doesn't all get cut off. I think most of I can cut the sky more than the bottom. All right, now we're done with our flirty flamingo. We're still going to use lovely lipstick for our little wheelbarrow. So let's keep going though with our grass. We'll get our granny apple green out, and there's a little grass clump. Okay, this is the little oh no, that's the tulip clump. There is a little grass clump. Let's find it. Well, actually, it's not even a grass clump. It's a little clump of leaves that I believe are for the tree, but we're going to kind of use it as a clump of grass. Sorta. Just to kind of give us a few larger groupings of leaf here. Okay, now we'll get our grass out. Now we're ready for you. And for that, we're going to use, I don't even think I think Garden Green is still available. Is Garden Green still available? It's one that I like a lot. It's mine is kind of drying up a tiny bit, which is actually a good thing right here, because I don't want it to be too terribly dark anyway. And then as I go, if I need to, let me grab a piece of cardstock. If I need to screen, you know, my tree or anything, I can use this as a mask as I go if I want to cover up some things and not worry about getting I don't want to cover up all of my tulips. Okay. All right. I don't want to get too carried away there. I think that's good. All right. And then we are going to put in our little wheelbarrow. Okay, we're done with the garden green. I didn't use as much of that other ink as I probably did on my first card. Isn't it funny how sometimes when you go to make a card or anything, the first time, it's sort of like the you know, the first time's a charm. Everything goes together really good. And you think, this is fantastic. This is going to be so easy. I'm going to do this on camera for everybody. I won't even have to make more than this one because it's so easy. And that was just beginner's luck because it doesn't go so easy ever again. I've had that happen many, many times actually, where the first card I ever made was the best one, and they never quite matched that standard again. I didn't leave myself a lot of room for my wheelbarrow, which I'm very sad about, but it's going to have to work. Now that's that basic gray, and that's too dark. I do not want you basic gray. I need the lighter gray. Okay, so we will grab out gray granite instead. Glad I didn't stamp you on there. Actually, stamped off would have been fine, but I don't want to. I'm afraid I'll do something to it. This is kind of a cool wheelbarrow. Shoot, that's not going to fit. Ah. Oh dear, you are not going to fit, wheelbarrow. I'm sorry, but you are not going to be on this card. Rats. It was cute too, but he's not going to fit. I guess I could just stick him barely on here, but that's really not going to, not cutting it. Wow. I should have shifted it all up somewhat, but I'm just kind of halfway sticking him on there just so that you can see how easy it is to do a cute little wheelbarrow. Now he does have a top to him. Where are you? Top. There you are. These little shapes are hard to determine sometimes what they are, but that was just the lovely lipstick. And there, so there's the wheelbarrow, barely making a show of itself there in our card. All right, so it is still pretty anyway, even if that. Now, it has clouds. The clouds are really nice. I love these clouds. I was surprised by how much I really liked them. Maybe it's because we've had so many clouds. So we're going to use our gray, and I'm going to need to stamp off. So let's move you. Okay, we'll put the puffy side up. Okay. Oh, I got some. We're going to definitely be cutting that off. Wow. Let's try doing that again over here. Huh. I'm, again, beginner's luck. Not quite getting the effect I want, but it's good. It's good enough. And let's see. What else did we need here? Maybe if I soften my cloud a little bit with some balmy blue, that might help. We'll stamp it off again though, because I don't want it to be too obvious. Huh. Yeah, I'm just not. There we go. That one turned out. Finally, I got one that is doing what I want it to do. Okay. I'm just still practicing. Okay, let's see. What else do we need to do? Okay, I think we're done with all of that. We're going to color. I had put, on this one, I'd put some green to see what that would look like. Didn't like it. So we are not doing that. We're just going to color our little cabin. And then we are going to be getting almost done already with this card. I didn't do a sentiment yet. And there's some other things that still need to go on it too. But I didn't want to finish it because I wasn't sure how this would turn out. It's always a little iffy when you're, you know, just kind of... These watercolor effect stamps are really forgiving. But the problem with them being forgiving is that you can keep going and going and going, maybe even when you should have stopped. Like, I kind of forgot that I wanted to put some birds in there. And I see there are birds in the stamp set, but I couldn't find them. Those are not birds. When I was looking for it earlier. Oh, I do see the grass I forgot to put in. There is a little clump. There is a little tiny clump of grass. And I do want to do that. So let's get out my, if I can find my garden green. Well, I can't find it, so we'll just use our granny apple green, because the little clump of grass really adds a lot to it, doesn't it? Look at that. Isn't that cute? I don't want to get too carried away with it. Right there. Oh, cute, cute, cute. I could just keep going. All right, so the little tiny clump was worth it, but it's the bird. Oh, there they are. There's the birds. Okay, so we'll use our memento for that. Put them high up here in the sky, and they might even get cut off. We'll see. Let's see which way you guys are going. Let's sample you. There you are. Okay. So we're gonna stick you guys like right there. I don't think I like those. They look very dark and kind of menacing even. We found, I found one of our doves' eggs on the ground, and pretty sure it was probably one of the doves. We have crows that keep attacking these cute little doves that live in our backyard, or near our backyard anyway. I was so mad when I saw that. All right, you like it better without the green. I'm not sure what green you're talking about. Is it the garden green? Or... Okay, so let's see. Now we're gonna color this cabin, and we'll just start with the little pine trees. We're gonna use our Call Me Clover, and well, actually these aren't pine trees. I guess these are they look more like spruce trees to me. I'm gonna just kind of color from top down here. Normally I would start with that cabin, but we'll just do it this way. Above the trees. Oh, this green. Yeah, I didn't like that either. You know how a lot of these flowering trees, the buds come out before any of the leaves, right? Is that the way it is with dogwoods? Don't dogwoods bloom before any leaves open up? And that's the way a lot of flowering trees are. I know there are some flowering trees that have leaves, but not where we live. I think most of the ones that we have, you do really see a cloud of color, which is why they are so beautiful. So yeah, that really marred it. So thank you, Marty. That makes me feel better about this card, because I'm not liking those birds. The clouds I can live with. The birds, not so happy with it. Actually, though, I could take a sentiment and plop it right in on a tag right over those birds. Then I wouldn't even have to look at them. All right, so now we're going to color our cabin. We're going to do Cajun Craze. I'm going to take the light Cajun Craze, the little fine tip part, and we're just gonna kind of put some lines in here. Go around the window. So it's mostly Cajun Craze, but I didn't want to get too carried away with that because it can get pretty dark. And then this is Calypso Coral. That's the light one. Let's do the dark Calypso Coral. Oh, that's too dark, so we'll get the light one and just blend those colors in. I'm not worrying about shade. This is such a tiny cabin. You do not have to really worry about shading and all that's too much. Okay. And, oh, we do want to get around that window. I want to do that. And I think that window might even have a crossbar on it. I didn't even do that on this one, but I think he probably needs it. We might even do some green on it. For the roof, I just took my Mossy Meadow, or Old Olive, actually. and did some of the shadow on the roof, but it's so dark I didn't want to do it all that way. But I didn't want just a solid gray because the stones are going to have some, that's light Cajun craze. Let's find our dark Cajun craze. Where are you? There you are, dark Cajun craze. We're gonna just do some of our stones with the dark Cajun craze, but then I'm just gonna color over the whole rest of that chimney with gray. And so I didn't want I didn't want too much gray on here. So we're gonna use our light old olive to finish that roof. And then we are gonna I'm gonna just color gray on the roof quite a lot to try to gray it up so it's not this kind of startling green. Okay, so we'll get light gray granite. We'll get the brush side and we'll just keep going on you. I'm trying to do the chimney. Just try to gray up that roof a little bit. And then we can kind of go into the trees a little bit. Okay? I didn't even do anything for the window, but you could take a little bit of yellow and that would be nice. But that's pretty much it. We're done with that image. I do really like that wheelbarrow though. With the gate closed, you don't even see it. So that I'm comforting myself with that knowledge. All right, so let me move some of my things away, and I think we better go up a little bit. And I'm gonna gingerly move my parts over here. I don't want to move my Meadow too far away because I might want you. Who knows? All right, so we've got our picture done. Now I just need to figure out how much of this I need to cut away. So I need to cut off about 1/4 of an inch on the top. It looks like that will be nice, but I think my sides actually look like they're going to fit quite nicely. So I don't even need to worry about that. We'll get out our tiny little cutter and just cut right below my little flub there. And then I think that's going to go on there quite nicely. Very good. All right. And then we're just going to, I'm just gluing that down. I'm going to glue that there, and I'm going to glue that there. This one actually comes together really quickly. Oops, don't put you there. We'll put you here. Thank you, Linda. I'm glad you like it. So my new elliptical is supposed to come the 9th of March. And that's better than original date set was the 13th, which is a Friday the 13th. I was thinking, no, I'm not sure if I want anything delivered on Friday the 13th. I'm not a superstitious person, but still, I just don't know about that. And so I was very happy when they emailed me and said they're going to actually deliver on the 9th. And that means I get my elliptical earlier too, because I need it. So this morning I went out and walked really hard. I do have to say I think I'm getting a little bit. It's not cardiovascular wise as good of a workout, but muscle wise it is because I can feel it. So I'm hoping that's gonna work out good. All right, let's take a little off the edge there where I got a little carried away. And I'll stick you on here. All right, very good. And then we are going to decorate our little flap. So here's our little window sheet. just some plastic that I cut. I don't even remember what plastic this is. This is not a Stampin' Up! Window sheet, but I've, you know, a lot of things you get come with plasticky stuff, and I save it and stick it in here, and then I can use that. So I'm just gonna cut a new one because I got glue on that other one, and I'd kind of like it to look a little nicer than that. Hi, Andy. It's good to see you. All right, Marty had to go. That's all right. Thanks, Marty, for watching. That was nice of you to tune in to us. And so, Andy, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make the gate have something to rest on. So we're using this little window sheet. I'm going to just put some glue, actually, yeah, tiny bit of glue will be fine. It's got to be a pretty small bit of glue. I don't want it smearing up onto my, let's get the straight edge. Actually, better have the straight edge on the top. Okay. And it doesn't fit over perfect. It doesn't really matter. It's just something to kind of support my little gate. Okay. All right, so we'll put that aside and get out another little piece of Whisper White. And where is that stamp set that we're using? Right here. All right, so we're going to use that gate. And we're going to put some basic gray on that. All right. I think that's the only piece I have to stamp. I think all the other pieces that we're using, I've already stamped with that basic gray and cut them out so that we can get going on this fairly quickly. But this one I did do 2 of them, but then I put dimensionals on the one, you know, getting it ready, and then realized I don't want dimensionals on the gate, on the fence. This is actually a gate also. You can see it's a gate, but in this case, it's a fence. This is the gate. So for my fence, I want it to be flat and this, you know, arch out. So I'm going to cut this on the side here. Let me grab out the die. You can see that it fits on there really nicely. And I could move the camera over so you could watch me do this, but I think I am going to just not take the chance. I only have to cut this one thing out, I believe. Oh, I guess I do have the gate to, the arch has to still be cut out, but I think that, I'm afraid sometimes the camera doesn't like being moved about. Now this set has this piece, and a lot of people, what they're doing, and I'm going to do one like it because I've really liked it. What they're doing is they're creating a card where this is the front, and they can make their cutout, and they can put brick or whatever, you know, around this. And then when they open the card, they can see through this opening to the garden behind. There's just a whole lot of things you can do. I'm really happy they have this in here. But this is actually the piece that I'm using, which has the little lattice gate. So I kind of messed up my piece there, but I think I can still use it. And we'll run that through. You can hear me working it over here, and it actually fell right out of there. Wasn't that nice? So this is a die that's all of these dies that I've tried so far have been cutting out like a dream. Really nice. So happy about that, because that makes life so much better when it just pops out and I don't have to fussy cut stuff. So we're going to just take we're going to put glue right on the bottom. Actually, I can put glue, you know, anywhere along there that I want to. I'm not too concerned about how it's going to look on the back side, but if you really wanted it to be fancy, you could do the identical same, you know, one that you're doing here. You could do it on the inside too. Should I do that? That would be really cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. That actually does look a lot nicer, and it won't take us much extra time. So let's just do it. So we'll do one more fence. So our I'm going to be so glad to get our new elliptical. I think it's going to work really good. I'm excited about it. The one that I was using, you know, didn't ever really completely break down. Jeff said, yeah, I stopped using it because it was making so much noise, and it was more work to hold it up to use it. Like I was having to keep since it was leaning to the right a lot, had listed to the right so much that the right foot was starting to scrape the little, you know, foot that your feet are on. It was starting to scrape on the on the arms that's come out and support the whole thing. And so to prevent that from happening, I was having to use my right arm to hold it up so that it wouldn't do that. And then to compensate for having my arm holding it up like that, then I would have to lean with my left leg a lot on the other side. It was like I was getting a workout just holding up my elliptical. I couldn't believe that I was working it that way. I thought the whole thing was just gonna collapse on us the way it was going, but anyway, it actually was still functioning that way. But man, I was getting, for one thing, my left leg was getting stronger. Not my right leg, but my left leg was. And I didn't think that was probably a good thing. All right, so we will start with the inside, but I better cut another one of these because I need to make sure that is going to, be able to fold in. So let me cut that really quick. Cut it this way. Now when you cut things out of your cardstock, you know, this piece was already kind of prepared. So one thing you can do to save your cardstock to some degree, and I'm not going to want to use this piece because there are some little, you know, divots here and there, but I've never cut, I wasn't sure. I kind of wasn't sure. So if you cut, I can fold this and could have used that cardstock to do something kind of cool with. So if you're kind of careful about your die placement, sometimes you can create something cool that you weren't really even planning on. So if you just kind of center your dies instead of just cutting it, because basically your cardstock that you're using is probably going to be used up for tags and other things anyway. So if it doesn't work out to do that, then you really haven't wasted any of your cardstock in trying to make it be something cool. All right, so this is going to go here. No, it's going here, right? All right. Yes. So let's stick that on. We're just going to put a little bit of glue. Yeah, this one's on the inside, so I can put glue. On the one that's going on the outside, it needs to have dimensionals. And I'm not sure how, I think I can go all the way up. I just don't want a ton of glue on there. Okay, now we're gonna fold that over and make sure it's where I want it. That looks good. All right, and then we will do our little gate right here. And I'm not even coloring it. The gray ink is kind of a nice soft effect on it. I don't even really need to mess with it. If I was gonna be really fussy about it, let's do this. Let's lay this guy over here. Okay. And bring the arm over. Ooh. Like that. So I can kind of see where I want you. All right, there. You're not staying. Why aren't you staying? Stay, stay, stay. Got a lot of glue on my hand now. I'll use my chamois. I'm not supposed to do that, I'm sure. All right, thank you, you guys. All right, so now we've got the inside done. Now we'll do the outside. We'll put another little piece of gate on here and just fasten those guys together. So I think my left leg is a lot stronger now because I was compensating. But another reason I thought we gotta get a new elliptical because I'm afraid my right arm and my left leg are gonna be much bigger than the other side because they're of this compensation issue. All right, so there's our fence, and then we'll put dimensionals on this. Grab those out. Got our little minis, and I did bring some big ones over, thankfully. Oops, I lost them on the floor. There we go. Probably, I don't even know, those might be too big for the center. I probably don't even need these this week. I sure did last week. And then I didn't have any over here. I've got a bunch of glue on my fingers right now, so I'm probably gonna be having dimensionals stuck all over me. I think I'm gonna, let me grab my scissors that I've got, that I saved for cutting dimensionals because they're kind of gummy. I'm gonna cut some of these in half just to be sure that they're gonna be not too big. Usually they stick to my nails really well and not to anything else. There we go. All right. Wow. Having a little trouble there. Looks like our wind has calmed down because I see a bunch of birds out there. That's nice. And I'll go turn on our cat alarms again and try to keep those guys from, you know, there's a lot faster way to doing this. Why am I not using my, I think this will work better. Let's try it. Might be too fat for the fence. It's probably fine for this part, but it might be too fat for the gate. We'll see. The problem is now these are fatter than that other one. Now I'm gonna have to double up the ones I've got stuck on there. I always forget that. I don't use this often enough. I should probably use it more. But I actually don't like that it is so high. I have enough stuff on my cards as it is that the postman is not all that happy with me anyway, so I'd rather not make things higher still. I try to keep things a little more on the down low for the postman. All right. Almost there. This is the most time-consuming thing, probably, is just putting on these dimensionals. Isn't that the case? You get your card all done, and then you think, oh, those little sequins would look great here. Let's put those little sequins on. And then maybe a button or, a rhinestone or something. And then that's where your half hour after the card was done is shot. Just adding your little doodads. But those doodads are what make our cards really special. They do have other doodads down at the craft store, but ours are color coordinated, ladies. They're not haphazard afterthoughts. They actually match perfectly. Okay, now dimensionals, pretty much, I don't know. These are about the stickiest ones you're going to find. They're sticking really well to me. Even its little covering is not wanting to come away. Come on, you little bugger. All right, that's it. I'm done with you. Get off. Okay, we're taking this. I don't even know if the cover came off of that other one. It's going to stick fine anyway. Now, when I go to stick it on, it better go on nice, okay? You go on nice, because if it goes on crookedly, it's going to be crooked, because there's no way I can fix that. Now, I want it to cover the edge of that. So I'm going to have to stand up to make sure I'm laying this right where I want it. Voila. Isn't that cute? Okay, now I got it off a little there, but it's not even worth mentioning. All right, so now that we have finished that part, now you could, when you do this piece, I'll bet if you took a little marker or something and just marked up a little bit, some of these little indentations would show up really well. I haven't done that yet, but I bet that would be the case, just as a suggestion. Now, the things that we can do to finish this card up. Ooh, we've got all kinds of options. I grabbed out one of my old, I don't know what she's from. There's other little girls in this set, but she's the perfect size, isn't she? Isn't she cute? She would go really nicely right there, greeting everybody coming through. We've got our little kitty cat. Now that is definitely going inside. I was going to make him stay out, but I don't know. I might put you inside, kitty, because you look like a little sweet kitty. I might like you in there. This garden is so big and lots of room. I think I would even have room for a nice little kitty cat in that one. Now, the other things that come with this set, I did cut out some of the extra fencing because I wasn't exactly sure if I would need some extra around the edges, but I didn't. It has some wonderful, these are hollyhocks. Ooh, hollyhocks. Those would be nice. We've got, I think, delphinium or lupins. These could either be lupins. These look like daffodils. So if those are those can't be daffodils because they wouldn't be blooming with these. Or foxglove, that's what that's going to be. Foxglove for me. There are other things it could be. There's lots of flowers actually that have this kind of a torchy effect. Okay, so those are just some of my options. I could just leave it like this and it would be nice, right? We've got a nice little rose vine you could put over your trellis. And the other nice thing about and you would want to trim it so that it fit nicely. That's cute. But I really just like it like that too. It does come with some rose buds and other flowers that are a little bit bigger. You could do your, oops, I didn't mean to turn my light off there. You could once you've positioned your roses around your trellis, you could put some of those fat ones sticking out. If it wasn't already sticking out, that would be nice. I saw somebody had taken our beautiful you girl, and they'd stuck her in here. She looks pretty good walking along if it was a rainy day. Wouldn't that be nice? She's the right size. I thought our, this little one is from our Enjoy Life set. Okay, the bicyclist doesn't really fit because he's too small. But this girl, she could be in there stretching. She could be in there. But I really liked this one. She's the one I'm going to put in. Because I like to use my old stamps. All right. So, anyhow, I think I'm going to finish the rest of this on the side later. Put all of the little flowers and whatnot on, and then you can see what I come up with later, see how it all turned out. I don't think I want to take all of your time this afternoon as I play with this, but you can see how much fun it is. You can just keep going, thinking, oh, I want flowers here, I want them there. You can put them on the side, and then because we finished our gate on this side, you know, you can put them on this side now too. And that's going to finish this little arm off really nicely also, and kind of distract from the fact that my wheelbarrow did not really fit in. And then, you know, you could decorate the inside too. You know, there's just lots and lots that you can do with this set. I've really enjoyed using it. And I'm going to enjoy using it even more in a few minutes when I'm all done here. All right. Thank you so much for watching, ladies. Actually, we got done in a pretty good amount of time today, I hope. I don't even know. My clock is so wrong in here that I don't even know what time it is. My clock in here is the one that you can hear chiming, and it has a key wind mechanism. And so it runs fast, and I don't know if that's common or not, but it is, and I don't really care. But it's almost an hour ahead now, and that says it's almost 3:10. I hope it's not quite that late. And at any rate, so hopefully it's only about 2. That's not too bad if that's what we are at. And it's ready for, if we were doing the, we're going to do our spring forward here in a little bit. So it's going to be all ready to go. That'll be good. All right. What's happening? The thing that's happening is our second release of Celebration. And next week, I think I'll use one of our sets to, what have we got? We've got some really cool, we've got this. That Rise and Shine is going to be so fun, okay? These cups are going to be so fun to do. I really liked our Christmas cups, so I'm very glad that that's available. Because when they retired I thought they retired our Christmas cups, but then maybe our dies are still available. Maybe they didn't. But this Well Dressed is going to be fun too. This has got lots of little fun things, but I'm not really sure what to do with it yet. But maybe I'm hoping maybe next week I can get to that, because next week is when all of these things, the new the second release of Celebration items. Is it the second release? I think this is the third release. The third release of Celebration items is ready. And then everybody can buy that stuff. And those of you who are demonstrators with me, you have been able to buy it already. Some of us don't and wait until it is a free item, because I think this is one of the ones that would be a free one if I'd waited. But I wanted to get it and play with it a little bit. I haven't yet, but I'm going to. I'm getting there. So for every $50 worth of Stampin' Up! Product you order, you get a free item. There are free items at the $50 mark and the $100 mark. please order yourself or you and your friends $150 worth of things, because when you reach that mark, then you will also get 10% discount on or not a discount, but you get 10% free worth, 10% would be $15. So if you spend $150, you would get $15 worth of Stampin' Rewards to buy a stamp set worth $15. Plus, you would get one $100 celebration thing and one $50 celebration thing, or three $50 celebration things. So this is the time to stock up at Stampin' Up. So don't delay. Get in there and get ready to take advantage of all of that stuff. I'm picking dot stuff off of me. I got it all over me. All right, I'm going outside. I hope you do too. You have a wonderful day. Thanks a lot and enjoy your day. Bye.